Quick thing before this video begins for a solo flawless guide. If you enjoy this video or helps you get the flawless, a like and a sub would be appreciated. It really helps the channel. Alright, that's all for me. Enjoy the rambling. I'm going to talk about all three classes briefly, but I'm not going to switch characters and show the exact same thing all three times, because that would just be super annoying, tedious, and mega clickbait. I'm going to try to shorten this as much as I can, so let's get through it quick. Let's go with supers, actually, for first. So, 95% of the time, if you're going to solo flawless on Warlock, I would recommend Devour Nova Bomb, because it's free health. It keeps you alive so well. If you don't know, you can eat your grenade while on Devour, and then if you get a kill within a 10-second time span with Devour on, you instantly get your health back to 100%, and you can continuously keep this counter going every single kill you get. So it comes very, very handy in times where there's lots of ads, or you're in the cube room, or there's just a ton of silence on the board, you know, things like that. So Devour is definitely the way to go. However, there is a small percentage of the time where you can use the top tree, and the reason for this is because top tree has a better super in terms of damage, as well as you combine your grenade to eat it, and then combine with Controverse holds to get a fast grenade charge back, as well as debuff the bosses, and then you combine that with a Press of Darkness to get multiple darkness nades out for more damage. But like I mentioned, bottom tree 95% of the time, and then there's a tiny section where you can use Dawn Blade in combination with a sword in this first part, but you would have full ammo because you go to Tribute Hall and not be like an idiot like me. I will show that in a second, but let me continue with the gear. So, for guns, I'm going to just straight up say, Mountaintop, #1 undisputed in this slot. It's not even close. It's actually a joke how separated it is from the next best thing. If you have Mountaintop, 100% use this gun. It two-shots nice with taking spec on. It clears literal full waves of Scions. Doesn't matter which encounter, it kills all of them. It kills Acolyte waves too in the cube room. It one-shots the snipers in the cube room. It's just insane. However, if you don't have Mountaintop, that's totally understandable. I would recommend the next best thing would be a sniper, whether it be as an Agi, a high-impact sniper like Eye of Soul, Show of Force. You can even use Revoker because, you know, you get bullets back if you miss. And then there's, of course, the high-impact, higher rate of fire snipers like Supremacy with triple tap, because you get bullets back and it's good DPS. Other than that, that's pretty much your only choices for this slot. Next up would be Energy. Of course, Recluse is your go-to. It's silly, everybody knows it. However, if you don't have Recluse, I can recommend a auto rifle, such as Summoner. If you have Overflow, that's even better. You can also use Gnawing Hunger, which you can get from Drifter now very easily, so it's very accessible. You could even get away with using Hard Light, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's an exotic. You could even use bows in this encounter as well. It works really well on snipers, such as in the Wasteland, and snipers in the final boss DPS room as well, if you're not comfortable kind of dodging around them, you know what I mean? And then finally, we have heavy slots. Obviously, everybody knows about Dark Drinker, aka Falling Guillotine, or however you pronounce that. Basically, you just spin to win with this. I would only recommend using this on the first boss, and even then, it's not that amazing. Yes, you have the potential to one-phase the first boss if you're experienced enough, but really, if you're experienced enough to one-phase him, I don't think you need this guy to begin with. You could use the sword, don't get me wrong. Totally can, it's up to you, but I wouldn't put this as the #1 choice. The #1 choice, however, I would put is obviously Anarchy. You literally just abuse the hell out of Anarchy. It's the best heavy in the game, not even close. Then, if you're not comfortable with using Anarchy, or you may not have it, which is totally understandable, RNG raid, yada yada, I would recommend Xenophage. It's really helpful within the dungeon. It's very good in the Wasteland. It's really good in the cube room to maintain ad control, sniper control, night control, and obviously it's good damage as well. I'm sure you can get away with using things like 1K and Whisper as well, but those would be lower on the totem pole and recommendations. I'd definitely say Anarchy, then Xeno, then Dark Drinker would be the top 3. Now for armor mods, obviously armor will work a little differently between each class. You know, Titans will have something slightly different to Warlocks, same thing with Hunters, but I'm going to go over mods that you would generally have on each character. So with the obvious, let's start Oppressive Darkness. Obviously you're going to use Nova Bomb for Warlock, Bubble Titan for Titans, and then Bottom Tree Night Stalker to abuse Oppressive Darkness as much as you can to give you damage buffs. So for Warlock, specifically, I would use Perpetuation with it, because you get your rifts faster, whether it's Empowering Rift to give you damage, or Healing Rift to save your life. And then you could just chuck in a High Barrier if you have it, just for reduced damage on Knights. Or you could just throw in like a minor major resist, completely up to you. Then you have things like High Energy Fire and Charge with Light. Sorry, Taking Charge to get Charge with Light. If you don't know what this is, essentially you kill a group of Scions or Acolytes with one Mountaintop shot, or just get a combo kill with Recluse. And then what this does is you'll run over the orb that ad dropped, and then you become Charged with Light. Now what Charged with Light does with High Energy Fire is it gives you a 20% damage boost while you have Charged with Light. You lose it the next time you get a kill. However, there's certain instances in the dungeon where you can keep this buff for a very long time. For example, when you go to damage the final boss at the beginning, you get a good 10, maybe 15 seconds of where the hobgoblins will not spawn, and you're just shooting the boss the entire time, and you're getting additional damage that entire process. Once the snipers spawn, of course, then you want to take care of them, but until then, you get a good chunk of extra damage by using these mods, if you have them. So if you do, definitely recommend you use them. Then you have Taking Barrier. Again, this is only if you have them. If you have this, absolutely 100% use it. It is great. It is very defensive. It helps you a lot, especially with Knights and Fire and all that. If you don't have it, minor and major resists are a decent replacement. They're not better, I don't believe, but they're definitely good. Taking Barrier definitely takes the cake for that, though. And then, of course, you have Taking Armaments as well in that same category. If you have this, definitely use it. What I do personally is I have one, as you can see, one class item with Oppressive Darkness, and then another with Armaments. I just swap them out whenever needed. So let's say I kill the entire wave of ads in the final boss area before going down the little tube. I would use Armaments, fill up on ammo, then I would switch to Oppressive Darkness, and then go downstairs to start the damage phase. You can use this with all classes, obviously. Just swap your mods out, swap your gear if you want. And then other than that, I have generic stuff, intellect and recovery mods, because you want to have a lot of recovery, a lot of super gain really quick. And then you have GL reserves to get, obviously, more ammo. Enhanced GL loader to reload faster. And then ammo finder to get ammo. And don't forget Contra Swords. If you're going to rock these with the little strat of switching to top tree at the end, after killing everything with Devour, make sure you put enhanced GL loader on it, or double loader mods, just so you can keep that DPS up with your Mountaintop/Anarchy. So while this run is going to be shown primarily on Warlock, just to get out of the way, like I said, Bubble Titans, which is Void, is definitely the class to go with. You can abuse Oppressive Darkness with that, obviously, and you can use the exotic Armamentarium to get 2 charges for your Bubble Titan of Oppressive Darkness. And on top of that, don't forget, you can use one of the 2 charges, then pop your bubble on top of that to immediately get a charge back, giving you 3 immediate Oppressive Darkness grenades to use on either boss. Very helpful tip. A lot of people don't seem to know that or realize that, so I thought I'd throw it in there. And then for Hunters, I would definitely stay bottom tree Night Stalker, because the invisibility capabilities are insane. You basically can stay invis as long as you want for, basically the whole fight, if you really wanted to be honest. And the exotic I would go with for that would definitely be either 6 Coyote, because you gain an additional dodge charge, and that just helps you stay alive, keep rolling, keep invising. Or, well, Stompies would be for the jumping section, obviously, that I'll show you here in a second. Or Wormhusk Crown, because you get healing, of course. So if you feel like you need to just keep your health up, run Wormhusk. If you feel like you're comfortable just dodging and invising at good times, then run 6 Coyote. And that would be my exotic recommendation for each class. So one more time, Devour Norbond for Warlock, Bubble Titan top tree for Sentinel for Titans, and then bottom tree Night Stalker for Hunters. With that being said, let's go into encounter details with live commentary. Alright, so here we are at the beginning. I'm going to show you guys the first encounter skip in case you don't want to bother killing Knights for motes to get to the first boss. Now, you're going to want full ammo here just in case, but I was too lazy, so I'm just going to use my nade with Taking Armament to get ammo. Now what you're going to want to do is climb this ball, and then go up here, Use your dodge to get higher, and then sword swing. Eventually, you're gonna reach the top. For some reason, I didn't get 2 dodges there, and now I can't dodge at all. That's odd. Just ignore that. There we go. You reach the top just like that. It's even easier with Lion Rampants and Catapult for Titans, and Stompies and Triple Jump for Hunters. Hunters may need to go around a little bit and then jump from a safer location. I believe it's there. For Titans and Warlocks, it's much easier. So, normally you'd have your nade here, unlike me, because I'm dumb. And then you're just going to pop your nade in a second here. And then it's just pretty much free from here. You just glide, that's it. Or you can go boom, dash, sword, and we're here. So that's essentially the sword skip for the first encounter. Really simple, it's not really complicated, trust me. I just make it look complicated because I'm dumb. After that, you get off Dawnblade and never touch it ever again for it's the flawless attempt. You're gonna start with Devour, Healing, Vortex. As mentioned, Bubble for Titan, Bottom Tree Nightstalker, or Hunter. So the reason I'm not going to do the sword strat for this is plain and simple. If you know how to do the sword strat and if you can one-phase this boss, you don't need my help, you don't need a guide. This is not for you. So, I'm recommending Anarchy if you have it. If you don't, obviously get a replacement such as Xenophage, maybe 1K, or just use the sword if you don't have Anarchy, honestly. But this is how I go about the fight. So, as you notice, there's 4 things to light up, to light, to dark. They don't stay this pattern if you go into more than one phase. They could be 3 dark, 1 light. They could be 4 light, 4 dark. Just keep an eye on those. So the way this fight works is there will be night spawns here, over there, and over there. 3 nights spawn at a time, each time you clear all 3 nights. So if you have 3 nights up and you kill 2, the next wave will not spawn until that 3rd night dies, and you can use this to your advantage, and you'll see how I do it during this fight. Now, obviously, you need to stay in the shade to get dark, and then go in the light to get light, duh. Keep in mind that when you begin the fight, Scions will spawn. You need to spawn kill them. They spawn over here, I believe, and then 1 wave right here will spawn as well. So, ideally, what I do on Warlock is I start the fight here, because I know there will be a Knight and Scions here, so I go, boom, Nova Bomb, kills pretty much everything here. I know a Knight will be behind me, so I stick him with Anarchy, or you can shoot him with Mountaintop, kill him as well. And basically, you start the fight with 2 Knights down. So you start very strong, which is what you want to do for this encounter. Other than that, when you first dunk, your first, whatever these are called, banks, I guess, you will get another wave of Scions, same spawn point. Make sure you're ready to kill them. So let's say you dunk like dark, right? You're gonna dunk dark, then run back here. You can pop your Devour if you want. Sit right here, wait for the spawn with Scions. Boom, spawn killed. And then the other wave you can just safely shoot from a range or wait till they push you. Up to you, really. That's the basics essentially. So I'll try to talk throughout the actual fight and show you what to do. So let's get this started. Oh, one last thing. For Titans and Hunters, I would not recommend that spot. I would recommend instead this spot right here. The reason for this is because you obviously don't have Devour, Instant Healing Rips, and all that to your advantage on Titan and Hunter. So this is a safe spot because nothing spawns directly right here, and you have a wall to help you right here. A Knight will spawn right here, so you can stick him, you can Mountaintop him, you can do whatever to him, and then immediately go for cover, and then finish him off easily. Nothing else will be here. So this is kind of your safety spot. Every time you dunk, if you want to be safe, you can immediately go here and just kind of reset, no matter what class you're playing. You can also run back here as well, kind of the same thing. Knight will be on this side, obviously, and then if you go over here, a Knight will be here. But generally speaking, this whole kind of section is your safety. I definitely would not go on the other side of the map. That is kind of instant death if you're not careful. So, with that being said, now let's go into the fight. Alright, here we go. So, Pop a rift here for just safety. Disempowering, just ignore that. Devour will proc off killing this guy, and then you turn around, bam, stick him, he's gonna die. So you just have to worry about ads at this point. Devour will keep procking every kill you get. Ignore the boss, just kind of play around him, literally. So now you have 2 dead knights and 5 motes. You never want to dunk with multiple knights up, so never do that. Once there's 1 knight to go and you have 5, you're good to go. You just gotta time things, that's all. So now you're killing ads because Scions respawned, and you just want to get rid of them while there's only 1 knight up. There we go. I'm going to go for light here because I don't want to just dunk all dark. I feel like light is harder, so I go for light here. Then I'm going to go to my spot. There's going to be 3 knights again, so we're going to eliminate this guy. Boom, he's dead. We're going to go for this guy again in light. So now there's 1 knight up again. And then we go, boom. If you're quick enough, you can get these motes, and now you're at 3 dark. Now, I'm going to kill this last knight here, and this is important. You should not go for something when you're in terrible position. So, he's over there. I'm not going to bother with that. The motes will be down there for a little bit. So what I do is, again, go back to the spawn kill. Also, this knight here will drop dark motes as well, so that's good. 2 knights are dead. Boom, you're good to go again. And now you're down to just the 1 light. Going back to my little reset corner. That knight will die eventually. Alright, that left knight is kind of vulnerable. And there we go. So that should be 1 knight left. It is. This is the part where you kind of prep. If you want to put on Power Nerves, permanent healing, you do that. And then once you do that, make sure you have Oppressive Darkness on instead of armaments, like so. And you go boom. Alright, getting booped twice is not ideal, but it works. What I would do is climb up here. Man, this is a great DPS showing right here, ladies and gentlemen. Just choking all over the place. Anyway, so you would climb on top, and the boss would not be able to boop you in normal instances, but this is kind of really scuffed. Then you go Rift. Just keep tagging the boss. Keep killing the goblins, because they can be problematic like that. As you can see, he can't hit me. Even during a scuffed phase, I still did over half. So that's perfectly fine. If you do a proper phase next time, it will be a 2 phase. Now you just kind of reset. And there you go, 2 knights are dead. You go bam. I like to get rid of the middle ones first because they're the most problematic. As you saw there, my scuffed DPS phase, I try to keep the top ones for last, just for ease. So now the ads show up. You can pop your Devour here if you want. Then go kill that guy. Pick up 3 lights. Go in my little spot. He's gonna die with darks. Oh, that's a terrible shot. But we still worked it out. And you have 5. There's only 1 knight up. Heal if you want. Silence coming in, so you go bam. Spawn kill. spawn kill. This is what I mean when I say mountaintop is literally unmatched. Pick these up and quickly get away. That is a bad spot. You want to go over here. Once again, you have 2 knights dead. So you just go safely around and boop. The last one is dark. Play very easily into that considering the edges are dark. So right there, I don't rush for the moats. I rather just go boom, you're gonna die. And then you're dead. So now I know there's only one knight up again. Go for the moats. Ignore this idiot. Smack him a little bit. So now you're pretty much good to go. Just make sure you have good ammo. That was really unlucky, but you can use it to your advantage. Make sure you go on the ledges if you need to. Joining allies will take you back into the encounter. You will not lose your flawless. In the case that very, very small chance happens to you. And then we're going to start DPS. Put on top here. As you can see, it is so much better if you don't scuff it up at the beginning. You just kind of sit here and make him look stupid. And he's pretty much dead before the goblins even spawn. GG. Outside of Devour, you can pretty much replicate this on Titan Hunter. You just have to play a little bit more carefully. Just a little bit. And that is the first encounter. Let's move on to the Wasteland. Take your time for as long as you need because there is no enrage timer. You can do whatever you want here. If you want to kill all of these giant minotaurs so they never hit you from behind, go right ahead. You don't have to rush this. Other than that, my only big tip is use the guns you're comfortable with and take out every single sniper before contesting the blights. So I choose to ignore this giant minotaur over there. You can fight him if you want. That is completely up to you. I'm going straight for the blights. And what you can also do here is put on a long-range weapon to kill those said snipers. Also, I'm putting my armaments back on for ammo purposes. So once I get close, okay, so this guy pushed me, so now I am forced to kill him. That's perfectly fine. I'll kind of show you guys what to do in these 3 blights, and then that'll be it. I'll go to the queue because it's kind of a rinse repeat process. So you see I killed the sniper. There's 3 snipers per section, so keep that in mind. That is 2. I think the last one is glitched and it falls over here. I could be wrong. Yep, right here. Alright, so for Warlock you have Devour, so you're pretty much good to go here. But this is what I personally do. You just go stick, stick. Stick, stick. Kill a guy. And then again, stick, stick. Xenophage can 2-shot this with a bow shot. So you just go 2 Xenophage shots and then boom with a bow. And the thingamabob will die. Apparently my Anarchy did not do the thing, so that's awkward. We're doing this on the fly. No editing, no siree. Perfect run. Alright, there we go. It did the thing. So, essentially you can just blow up the blights like that and avoid most enemies. But like I said, if you want to play super, super carefully, avoid these guys, avoid captains, centurions, yellow bar snipers, and just kill them, that's perfectly fine. Go at your own pace. And essentially repeat this 3 times around the map, and then you will be granted entrance in the cube room. So if you're going for the solo flawless, I assume you know how the encounter works, so I'm not going to bore you with that. All I can really say for this is positioning is key. You immediately locate where you need to go, where you need to dunk, and then you immediately look at where the snipers are. Because essentially the key is for you to kind of manipulate how the snipers and knights are alternating to kind of give you that timing where you can safely go dunk when needed. Now, immediately I'm going to say I recommend Xenophage for this specifically. I think a sword is too dangerous. Anarchy is great for sticking knights as well. But Xenophage, it just doesn't care. You can hit everything you want in this room while barely aiming at all, including snipers and knights. Knights specifically here, because let's say you're in a corner, like the knight spawns here, right? And then you need 3 motes to dunk right here. And you need a dark mode. Literally all you gotta do, camp right here, and then go bam, 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 knight is dead. The good thing here is the Xenophage will immediately stagger the knight, so he can't kill you. He'll be staggered instantly, and you can just bully him. Whereas, obviously, Mountaintop, you're too close, so you can kill yourself in this range. And Anarchy also won't immediately stagger the knight, so they can easily put fire on you, not including the snipers looking for you in the room as well. So, for that reason, definitely recommend Xenophage. If you don't have Xenophage, I definitely say go get it, for sure. It's available always. It's not a raid exotic, so you can definitely go out and get it. If you're going for a solo flawless, absolutely get it. But, if for some reason you don't want to do it, you don't want to get it, and you don't have Anarchy or this, you could just use really any generic heavy. Auto-loading GLs, maybe even 1K, but obviously you have to be careful because you can blow yourself up. And, I mean, hell, you could use even Tractor or Legend of Acreus at that point. But number 1 recommendation, definitely Xenophage. And then Adclear, same thing, Recluse, or an Auto. And then Mountaintop is king. Although you can use a sniper here to pick off the snipers in the air. One-shot headshot. Bam. Alright, so we need dark. And keep your minds, not your minds, your eyes, on where the ads spawn as well. So right here, I know the snipers spawn 1 diagonally across from me on the top, and then 1 to my right. I know the ads don't spawn near me, so I take them out first. So I go bam, and bam. And I know I need dark, so I'm going to stand in dark. I'm going to get this knight first because the other one's going to walk towards me. 2, 3, you're dead. 1, 2, 3, you're dead. Snipers just spawn, so they're not gonna immediately shoot you. Bam, run into cover because the ads for majors for some reason take a couple of seconds to despawn, but now you're good. So essentially you could have done all of that without Devour, as you saw, but use your Worm Husks and your Barricades to your advantage, and then here, if you need it, just go boom, take an armaments, get your ammo back, if you need it again, and then you're pretty much good to go. Now what I'm going to do is get a melee kill, so I can kind of get a little bit back for my Devour nade. Alright, and then I'm good on ammo, I'm good on everything. Go up. And then you kind of repeat the process. Obviously the rooms change a little bit, so you have to position yourself. So here we got light. Ads are going to spawn to both my sides. We have good cover from snipers. Did I mention that Recluse is silly? So you're pretty much good to go here. Kill 1 there. Knight is spawning. You need light, so he's gonna come over here. Bam, bam, bam. Before I run over, I'm gonna kill the second sniper. Got my 3 motes. Oh, well, wasn't that convenient? Look at that. Bam, bam. Got my 5 motes. On the bank. Good to go. Sniper there, keep paying attention. I'm just gonna choose to clear this room instead of going up immediately and getting potentially beamed. And I'm gonna pick up this brick, because why not? And then we're going up. So like I mentioned, it's all about positioning. Alright, we've got dark here. So we're gonna start here, because dark, duh. This is what I meant by Mountaintop just being king, because you clear entire waves just within a second. Alright. So snipers are up. Bam, 1 is down. Bam, 2 is down. Neither is one near me. That's a good thing and a bad thing. So 1's down. Not sure where the other one... Oh, there we go. So now it's a little tricky because the, they didn't spawn together, but we're good to go. And then you just kind of hide. You know this is ads, so just preemptively shoot. I'm just used to pressing to devour, but you really didn't need to devour there, honestly. And there we go. Now, I could choose to just farm these ads to get ammo back with armaments, but I have plenty, so I'm just going to go up for the sake of the video. Video length, that is. Alright, kind of into the chase now. I'm sure you guys get the idea for the cube room. This is the boss fight now, the end. So, what I would do with Warlock is just go bam, he's dead. There's thrall spawning, but by the time they spawn, he should be dead. Boom, you're done, but obviously, make sure you're aware of the thrall. You can use tether here as well. You pop weapons of light, kill all the stuff, and then you're pretty much done. So here we are at Rainbow Road, or the ribbons, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use a sparrow. Just to reiterate, you can just go by foot and not risk anything if you're not comfortable doing this. I know many people don't want to do this and screw things up, so feel free to just walk. So I'm just going to go ahead and ride down. This basically skips the snipers, but if you're walking by foot, kill that one. Kill the other one behind it, that's 2. Kill this one, that's 3. Should be 4 right there. And then you just take down this path. Just go right through here. You don't have to waste your time fighting these ads, even by foot. And then here, I would just get off for safety reasons, because there's a sniper down here, as well as if you dash down with your sparrow, it could crash and kill you. So I would just walk here. Kill these snipers. If you guys haven't noticed, I like bows a lot. I think they're very underrated. And this is, you can skip that one if you want, but for safety reasons, you know, just kill them. And then you have this big dumb idiot knight here. But we have xenophage, so that won't be a problem. Hello, how you doing? I'm here to enter your mansion, I guess. And then from here, well, kill these guys, obviously. So the safe path here would definitely be just kill every sniper and phalanx as you're going down. Me, personally, I have a little different strat for this. Now, obviously, this is very risky, so don't do it unless you're comfortable. If you're going to be careful, just keep going down these platforms. There will be a phalanx that spawns on this, and that, and that. And then there will be 2 snipers that accompany it on different platforms, so watch out for those. Take those out as fast as you can if you're going that way. And if you want to go the kind of a risky way, you do this. Then you go, whee! As you can see, this is not foolproof. Definitely think about what you're doing before doing this, for sure. And then you kind of make your way down here. Once you're down here, just fly over this. This is a waste of time. And once you're over here, you have one more choice to make. You can go the very, very safe route and kill a couple of snipers going down these little platforms. I think there's 3 of them. And then you just go down there and clear the ads to go up the lift. Or you can take this path, which is the experienced path. This is taking up longer than I thought, honestly, but hey, here it goes. So you can get booped off the map right there, as you can see. But it's kind of fast. I guess I ended up showing Rainbow Road anyway, huh? Well, that's what happens when you do live commentary. Oh well. So you just take this path down. You're pretty much free to go from here. This is also where the secret chest is, on the bottom right here. You go into that little hole. But that's not what we're here for, so let's keep going. And you've arrived at your destination. I would still kill ads if you see them down here. Like that. And up we go. Watch your landing here, because I've seen people actually die landing in this. I'm not even joking. Alright, so here we are with the final boss, Caleco. I'm going to go over a couple of things that you should note for this fight. And this will concern all three classes, so this is not just for Warlocks. This is in general. So first off, obviously you'll see there's 3 dunk stations in this room. So currently I have dark, dark, light. The thing you should note about this specific room, as you know they rotate, is this light one right here is away from where the knights normally spawn. So the knights normally would spawn over there and over there, like over the hill. So what this means is, by dunking here first, you have the maximum amount of advantage and safety when fighting the room. So your best bet is to start the fight and immediately take out this dunk site first. Regardless of the color, just take it out first. That way, when you dunk and you kill the ogre, now you have this entire thing to yourself, and then you'll even have a little edge where the knights might be behind the hill and they can't perfectly hit you. And plenty of distance, obviously. Distance is key. You don't want to just be in the knight's face. They will charge you, they'll ape you, they'll just kill you within like 2 seconds. Don't risk that. Just play the better positioning. Now, as I mentioned, the 2 knights spawn over there and there, as well as 3 scions on top of those, and the 3rd scion wave spawns right here. So, the way I've developed this little spawn killing session is when I start the fight, which is when I'll go to middle, I will throw a grenade here, and then since my Devour procs regardless of what ability I do, I'll just use my nade here and throw it on the ground, which will spawn kill the scions that spawn here, and then I will use my super immediately to kill this knight over here, along with the scions, effectively taking out 1 knight and 6 scions instantly, which leaves the room to just you versus 1 knight, 3 scions. Immediately take out those last 3 scions, then you have a 1v1, at which point you'll have a 1v1 and 3 motes, ideally 3 light motes. Then you kill the last knight in the light shade. Boom, you have 5 light motes. Go here, dunk, kill ogre, and then you have a much bigger space to play with, safely. Now for Titans, obviously you don't have Devour. Same with Hunters. So what you want to do is same thing in terms of grenade. You plant a grenade here. For your Sentinel, it would be Void Wall. And then for Hunters, same thing. Although you could also do Vortex. That's up to you. And then Sentinel, just use your super. Don't use a bubble. Use your actual Sentinel super. So don't hold down Q or whatever your super button is. Same thing, take out the Knight and the Scions. And then set up the same way for the dunk. Hunters, you can do the same thing with tether. I think it's 2 tether shots to kill the knight. Obviously, if you tether anchor on the ground, the scions and the knight will be caught, and they won't be shooting you. So that's easy. On top of that, you have invisibility and Wormhusk, and Titans, you have barricade. Obviously, barricade is not really strong compared to the other 2, but you gotta use what you gotta use, right? So that's all 3. Now I'm just gonna kind of show you how to do this, and let's make sure that we have the same stuff. Same stuff as usual, taking barrier, armaments, no oppressive yet. I'm using Devour Bomb, Healing Rift, and I will not be switching to the top tree for boss DPS, just to show consistency, because not everybody's going to be like, okay, I'm going to switch supers, do this, do that, optimize DPS, blah, blah, blah. That's super, I wouldn't say advanced, but out of your way if you're not experienced, if you're like a first-timer for dungeon solos. So I'm not going to do the whole controversy switch, unlimited oppressive grenade spam, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to show you flat out how to do a normal run. Okay, so with that being said, let's do it. So I start the fight. There's my nade. Bye-bye. Go in the light. Bye-bye. Got your 3 motes. Make sure you clear the scions, because they're annoying. Shot him through the leg, that's awkward. Alright, so now it's a 1v1. Now it's a you won, haha, you suck. Dunk your thingamabob. Go here. If you don't feel safe, pop your rift. Here comes the ogre, anarchy, or whatever you have for your heavy, as we've discussed. I think one of my anarchies didn't stick, but he's dead regardless. So now you're down to 2 darks. And you can treat this however you want based on the color. So that should have been dark, but whatever. We're fine. Learn on the fly, right? So now you've killed the last 2 knights. Just reset. Now it's going to be just knights, no scions. So ideally you just want to go stick, go in the shade. Boom, he's dead. Or lure him in the shade if you don't have anarchy. So I'm going to go over here and pick these up. Pick one up, that is. Then I'm going to kill this guy. And now we're going to go to dunk. Use this planner as kind of a little defense. See, I could go for the motes that are still on the ground, but that's a risk, and when you're soloing, do not take risks. Minimize your risky plays. So now we have a dark left, so you just basically want to play around how the room shows. There's my 3 darks. The ads are coming back, so just prepare for them. For Warlock, obviously Devour. There goes 3 scions. There goes, I don't know, 2, 3. Make sure you're trying to avoid killing the knight, because 2 more will spawn, obviously. But if you're running out of time, just do it if you can. Oh, looks like I ran out of time. I take it back. Well, in this instance, you just reset. Don't worry. Don't panic. You still have 3 motes. So you go boom, dead. Boom, dead. And then go safely dunk. Yeah, not panicking is definitely key for this. I will mention that. Just take a breath, analyze the situation. Alright, now everything's clear. So like I said, I'm not going to do the whole advanced fucking DPS bonanza where I take him down 70%. I'm just going to stick with Devour, one-shot bang. It should be still a 2-phase if you're appropriate light and doing similar damage. So I have my nade ready. I have my Oppressive Darkness ready. Make sure you have everything ready before you go in. You can put Empowering Rift if you want. If you don't feel comfortable with it, just keep Healing Rift. So now what we're doing is just waiting for 1 Scion spawn, because we want to obtain our Taking Charge and High Energy Fire that I mentioned way earlier at the beginning of this video. So what you're going to want to do is just wait for the Scions. Remember the spawns that I mentioned earlier, so 1, 2, 3. Just wait for them to come out, wait for the spawn, you're going to go boom, mountaintop, makes an orb, you're good to go. Don't pick up the orb until everything is dead and you're ready to go. So you'll see right here. Boom, they're dead. Boom, they're dead. And boom, they're dead. Oh, missed one. Take it back. Okay, so now I'm going to walk over these orbs. Charge with light on the left side screen, right there. X2. And you're good to go. Alright, let's show this boss who's boss. That's right, that's a dad joke. Deal with it. So the key to this is keeping pace. You make him play by your rules, not the other way around. So you go boom, Oppressive is on, Anarchy is on, and then now these guys come out. Take them out immediately. You lose your charge with light, but it's better to stay safe for, you know, health purposes. Stick him as much as you can consistently after you deal with snipers. Obviously, you want to dodge whatever that thing is called. Remember to keep pace, because there's going to be more snipers like that. I may have jumped on the wrong side, but let's keep going. Keep going. So, as you can see, I choose to kill these guys first, because they just get in the way and they could potentially get you killed. Also, I killed these last two with a mountaintop blast, so now I have charge with light. And I just devoured it because I'm an idiot and forgot I'm not doing that strategy. Haha. As you can see, though, you're taking down a significant portion of itself if you're playing this kind of passively and strategically, even by going for the snipers more than actually shooting him. In the long run, it really matters. And this is without my extra nade that I would have here. So, well beyond half health, as you can see. I'm going to save the last couple of shots of Mountaintop for the room return. And as you can see, I still got him down past the K with a very scuffed run. You can check for ammo here if you want. Most of the time there isn't, though. And at this point, what most people do is they'll just sit back and wait for their super to come back, which is fine. You know, if you're going for solo flawless, you want to play as safe as possible, so it's totally understandable. So, in that case, I'm just going to simulate that, because that's what people are going to do. So ideally, what you're going to want to do once your super is back is repeat the process that I mentioned to you in the first room. This room is going to be different. It's going to be rotated, but it's still going to have the same spawn points, meaning there's going to be one spawn of Scions by themselves, and then the other two will be one Knight and 3 Scions. So what you're going to want to do is just look where the little blight animations are, throw a nade on one, and then go to a different one. If you see a Knight, Nova Bomb, instantly, boom, dead. You have Devour up, you have 6 Scions dead, and a Knight dead, and you're pretty much back in control. You just gotta, I suppose, manipulate the room at that point. Alright, let's go down. Alright, so we got this room. I don't know what to call it, so I'm gonna go bam, throw a nade there. So there's no Knight here. There's a Knight there. And just like that, you have control of the room. Look at your things. So you got light, dark, and light. 2 light, 1 dark. So I'm going to go bam. And there's your first soldier spawn. I'm not going to use Mountaintop because I have 1 shot left. So I'm just going to kind of kill him like that and then get rewarded. Nice. So now we're down to 1 light and 1 dark. So this room is primarily light, so I'll leave dark for last. This guy's in front of the light, so it's perfect. By going fast enough in these rooms, by the way, you can actually get all 3 dunks before the next set of Scions spawn, if you're optimal. So this guy's kind of giving me a hard time with that. That's 3 dark, and now I can do this and go in this corner. That's dark. And there is the 3-peat, I guess you could say, without Scion spawning. The Knights should despawn. Now it's just this big idiot. And now you have 1 big idiot remaining to slay downstairs. And oh, one thing worth noting is if you have Charge with Light, your Empowering Rift doesn't work, I believe, is what I've been told. So there's a little trivia for you. So you go bam, bam. And this guy pretty much is getting bullied at this point. as you can see, I am pretty much applying anarchy to him literally every single time I'm able to. And it's just tick damage while I am focusing on the snipers. Now I'm low here, so I'm going to choose to actually run away, because the snipers at the end could kill me. But I'm going to kill him before that happens, and that is a GG. And that is how you go about a solo flawless. Now obviously, if you're not a Warlock, it goes a little bit differently. You have a Titan Bubble to use to your advantage for Weapons of Light. You have Oppressive Darkness on top of that. For Hunters, you have Tether and Oppressive Darkness. You have Invisibility to stay safe. You have Barricades to block from sniper damage. So, I would say Devour Warlock is definitely the most smooth run for sure. But all three can be done, obviously. And I hope that all this stuff, all this useless knowledge of me rambling helps you guys out. And good luck on your solo flawless. Let me know if you get it. And that's all for this one. I'll catch you guys next time.